Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Options Trading for Income Weekly Update for July 6th, 2015. Before we get going, we would like to remind you that the presentation is for educational purposes only. We're not broker-dealers or financial advisors, and we're not making any specific trade recommendations. Also note that the risk of loss in trading options can be substantial, and be aware of all your risks prior to placing any trades. And also please note that we are using hypothetical computer simulated trades in the presentation. However, they are believed to be as accurately represented as possible. Some news that's going on right now is I am headed out at the end of this week towards sorry, I just got a funny comment. I'm headed out towards the end of this week to go see the co-developer of NLP himself, Richard Bandler. I'm going to be spending 10 days with him. We're going to be doing some master practitioner training and certifications for NLP. We're also doing neurohypnotic repatterning, design human engineering, and persuasion engineering. And I'm going to be talking to him extensively one-on-one about challenges that traders face and how to overcome them. And we're going to be incorporating that stuff into the psychological section of the Trading Triangle program, in the Trading Triangle booking and the Trading Triangle program, when they come out. So because I'm going to be away, there will be no webinar on next Monday. I'm actually going to be with him 10 hours a day for 14 hours a day for 10 days. So I'm not going to be able to get out way to do a webinar on that. Also, I'll be flying back next Monday, so that webinar is going to be moved to Tuesday. So no webinar next week. And then the following week, we're going to be moved to Tuesday on the webinar. If I get a chance, I will post some sort of an update. I'm not sure I'll be able to do that. It depends on my schedule when I get there and what I have for internet and computer equipment. So anyway, this seminar is going to be really awesome. And speaking of that, our APM squared pre-order special was a great success as well. I'd like to thank everybody who took advantage of the opportunity to save there. The release of the program is going to be very soon. I have, Sherry's just putting the finishing touches on things. Everything's uploaded to our servers. We just need to get the access thing straightened out and beta test everything. So it's a really big program, 16 videos, over 11 hours of content. We have hundreds and hundreds of PowerPoint slides. So it'll be really good once we get that opened up. So that's what's going on there. And also, if you haven't done so, visit our website, join our mailing list, get your free report, 7 Secrets to Becoming a Successful Trader. And of course, you can sign up for this free webinar. Check out our programs. We have the super simple spread trades, the M3, the bearish butterfly, the Rock, the M21, and now APM squared, which again should be ready for regular release well, probably within a week or so. Sorry, I'm just reading some funny comments. Thank you, Vincent and Raymond. And Ray, great. Also, stay tuned for our programs under development, Trading Triangle book, our online Trading Triangle program, directional spread trades. And always let us know how we can best serve you. I'm looking to help traders. That's why we do this stuff. You know, I give an awful lot away for free. We have an awful lot of paid stuff also, but we're always looking for better ways to serve. So let us know if anything's there. Also, remember the Lockup Hawaii 2016 challenge. If you haven't done so yet, this is just for fun, right? Set a goal for yourself and see if you can reach it. If you'd like to do that and become part of this, we'd love to have you. Just come to my website to, let's see, this page here, lockeinyoursuccess.com, hit challenges, Lockup Hawaii. You can see who's in there, what their personal challenges for themselves, and how they're doing. So we encourage you to go ahead and do that if challenging is actually good for your trading. Obviously, if a challenge is going to hurt your trading, because that happens with some people, then don't do it. But you know, if you want to have some fun and come to and be at least on the first list to come to Hawaii with us for a program we're going to have next year, come on in over and do that. So that should be a lot of fun. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in the markets here. So last week, let's just take a look first at the Dow. The Dow's actually the thing that's trading the most technically correct right now. We were, during the webinar, we were down a lot in the futures. Was thinking that if the market was going to be weak due to the news, it was probably going to come down and retest our support area, which it did. I did not necessarily expect it to happen in one day, but it did. It was a fairly severe down move on Monday. Obviously, a lot of people got, if you weren't substantially negative delta, you probably got kicked around a little bit in that move. And then the Dow bounced to its shorter term support level. Fairly normal behavior here. We have weakness this morning. Looks like we're down like 155 on the futures. That should probably bring us down near the bottom here. We'll probably have a retest today of the lows. Where it goes from there, we don't know. We're kind of in wait and see mode. Short term, this is a breakdown pattern. Longer term, we're just sideways. So, and of course, very long term, we're still uptrending. So I would tend to think it would hold more than have a complete breakdown, but like I said, it's going to be news driven. We'll have to see how the market takes this Greece news. So with the NDX, pretty much the same thing. We come down to a more primary trend line here, had our little bit of a bounce, and of course the SPX comes down to its more primary support levels, had a bit of a bounce. We were thinking it was going to probably test the 200-day moving average last week if we had a bad day, which it did. So everything's acting fairly normally. If you look at the Russell really didn't have a major support point here. We have some, this area right here, the 1245 or so area is a pivot point. We pivoted here, off it for a while. We pivoted here, off it for a while. I wouldn't call that a strong support point. Yeah, I think the only reason it really turned there is because the other indices turned. And of course, this was relatively weak on Friday. So essentially, if the markets come down and retest their lows, this is probably looking at somewhere between the 1235 area. If we break down, this is coming to 1210. I think if the other indices hold support, we're probably looking at, I see you're still seeing the SPX. Is everybody still seeing the SPX? I don't know if I'm getting a lag on our screen or not. No, looks like other people are on the Russell Allen. I think your computer might just be a little bit slow. Okay, thank you everybody. So here we're likely to break down at 1230. That's going to be another reversal point. Again, if that lines up with the bounce in the other indices, and of course, if we break down 1210 is a very realistic number on this. Things seem to be holding up fairly well with the news. I think we may just kind of penetrate down in 1240, 1235 area, and everything's going to bounce. That's probably most likely. But those are my thoughts on a breakdown going forward. Like I said, this doesn't seem at this point like it's going to be too big a deal. We'll see when the market opens where this thing goes. All right, let's go and see how we're actually doing with our positions here. Drag this up. We have a bearish butterfly. Now, normally, in a bearish butterfly, they take down moves quite well. As a matter of fact, if we were in a classic, what we used to call an M9 bearish butterfly, then this would be a fantastic month for this. It would be up huge money, 30+%, because I have some people who were in those. If you remember right, when we were talking before the Russell hit 1295, we were saying 1295 is probably a reversal area for the rut. And some people stayed in an M9. They were doing really, really well. However, if you're following the standard bearish butterfly program and you're utilizing the delta theta rules, which will roll you on top of the market with delta theta problems, and I have a comment from Mike Schwartz. He's up 40%. He was apparently in a standard bearish butterfly. So good job, Mike. Excellent, excellent job. But anyway, this when you're following the guidelines and you get into the delta theta rules, it forces you on top of the market. It does make you vulnerable to a harsh down move. Normally, for the most part, the position can withstand that. Whether it's going to withstand this one or not, I don't know. It got whacked pretty good on the 30-point down move last Monday. It's going to withstand fairly decent move even from here, as long as there isn't a huge overnight gap. We get another 30-point move that we can't catch midday. then it's going to take this out probably. But if the market reacts somewhat normally, we should be able to get positive in this and possibly actually make a little bit of money. We'll wait and see, but that's the difference between the two systems. Something like this, if you're completely ignoring charting, is going to win more often, especially in a hard uptrending market, than an M9 bearish butterfly, we call it. But an M9 bearish butterfly, certainly, if you're paying attention to charting, can produce some huge returns. So, anyway, as far as moves on this, they were pretty simple. If we take a look at our T-log on this day here, which was Wednesday, no adjustments till then. We ended up selling off 5 of these 1,300 butterflies. And then on Friday, we had a delta problem again and ended up selling 3 more of the 1,300 butterflies. And we're just kind of left here with, let's see, 2 more of these 1,300s, and we have our 10 butterflies at 1260 and 1280, sitting in expiration guidelines in a position that looks like this. Obviously, the 10-point down move isn't going to help us any this morning. Shouldn't be too big a deal. If we get to like 20 points, my best guess here, 1230 is the stop out point on this. Maximum loss stop out point. If the move is fast, if the move is slow, we may be able to withstand a little bit more than that. And of course, if we get a slight bounce or the market settles, this will be very, very good. What is the difference between an M9 and the bearish butterfly as in the programs? The M9 bearish butterfly does not have delta theta rolls or theta limits. It goes in and it just uses its price points as a scaling, which works very well. It does put you into some fairly high delta numbers though. So some people aren't comfortable with that. But certainly if you're in a high probability situation, then that is a nice trade. So anyway, here we are with the bearish butterfly for July. So far, it's not too bad. So let's take a look at our July M3. And I'm just going to move back to, let me see here, Monday, because we did have a Monday move. So on Monday, this is what we look like here. Of course, we had a fairly hard down move. We did exceed our delta limits, so we did need to make an adjustment here. Now, I could have rolled the whole position back. I'm still more than 10 points over my lower short strikes here, so I didn't necessarily want to roll the whole position back, so we went in here and just rolled the upper wing down. So I did 10 of these, 1290, 1280, 1260, 1240 broken wing condors, and that put us into a position that looks like this, which is essentially more of a broken wing butterfly, positive 34 delta, and put us into this position here. And from there, there were actually no further adjustments. So let me just move to Thursday afternoon. And as of Thursday, we're down about $800. And looking at a position that looks kind of like this, starting to have a gamma trend issue here. We may end up rolling this back today. We'll have to see what the market does. If we come down and bounce, we may up into here somewhere, which I think is probably more likely. I'm going to add some more verticals in here to flatten this out. If not, then we'll probably be due for a rollback, and we'll likely roll back about 20 points, depending on where the market lands, to the 1220 area. But that is that position there. The Rock trade, if you remember, was in virtually the same position, so we ended up doing the exact same adjustment. This one here is down a little bit less money, and this is what that position looks like. Again, it's the exact same position, more or less. So these are doing fine. There's really not much of an issue. I just have a let's see, a comment here. It's amazing how the theta has been held back by Vega and the market makers for the whole July cycle. Yeah, and we get that when the market gets toppy sometimes, and I'm sure they have the impending grease thing going on, and they've probably been they're waiting for this to work itself out. You'll be surprised at how fast the money comes into these assuming the price doesn't move too much if this thing with Greece is settled. So we'll see. We may get a large up move if it's settled. It's hard to tell. But yeah, once it's one or two things is going to happen. They're going to get to the point where they have to do it because they're so close to expiration, or they're going to have something that's going to settle and it'll happen on its own. Let's see. Let's have another question here. Is it okay to use call ratio spread to adjust the Greeks with an M3? With an M3, is it okay to use a combo trade? Dean Harvey uses them for some of his trades. My understanding is that he sells a call, buys a put at the same deltas, thank you, to adjust the Greeks. I mean, there are many, many ways you can deal with this. You can use futures, you can use ratio spreads, you can use synthetic longs or synthetic puts. I mean, they're all fine to use. There's nothing wrong with doing it. The concept in the M3 program is essentially controlling your T+0 line, and they're all those are all legitimate ways to do that. I don't personally like to be naked calls or naked puts, which you get in a ratio spread, because your absolute risk is so high. If you get some sort of a major market event like Black Monday 1987 or something like that, you have to watch your risk numbers there. But you know, if you're the type of trader who can deal with that, that's fine. Like I said, your risk is a little higher. I don't necessarily. I mean, like I said, we have traders who do all kinds of different things, so that's fine if that's what you want to do. Let's see what else we got going on here. When does the M3 call ever get adjusted? Usually if I get a lot of time value in a call, I'll move it. So, you know, if I get, no, this is a dollar time premium now, but certainly if it gets to, or if I have a gamma problem, which I'm kind of having now, I might roll it back. If I have a gamma problem and I have a lot of time value in it, I'll roll this call back. If the market goes up so far that it's just taking up a lot of capital for no reason, I'll roll it up. In general, there's no hard guidelines on when to do it. If you're having challenges with your T+0 line, if you're having challenges with the Vega, again, with a lot of time value, it's good to roll it back. If you're too far deep in the money and you want to take some capital out of the trade, you can roll it up. So that's how it goes. Am I doing the M3U on hedge version? I think I saw one of your students. Oh yeah, yeah. I have some people who trade the M3U, which is just it's an M3 without a call. Looks kind of like a weirdo if you've seen that. It's adjusted a little bit differently, but it's essentially the T+0 line profiles very similar to a regular M3, and and they trade it without that. So I don't have an M3U on this particular month, but I do have students that do. I mean, they're doing fine. So. So yeah, so I do the M3U at times. Right now, it might be a decent time to put one on. You know, if you were, well, even maybe in August, because you have volatility is relatively high and it's probably going to drop. Usually, they take good advantage of that. Anyway, that is that. So let's go to just quickly to a V Condor. This July V Condor has had no adjustments. We're sitting here in this position here. If we take a look at our analyzed graph, this is what we look like here. Really nothing to say. If we get a substantial down move today, we'll be buying back some of these puts. But other than that, this is looking quite nice. If we have our August bearish butterfly, that has had no issues whatsoever. We've had no adjustments. We're sitting here at about up $2,800 in a position that looks like this. If the market crashes down, then no problem here. Everything will be perfectly fine. Obviously, if we go up, we just do normal guidelines. So, so no issues with that whatsoever. We also have our August M3 trade. Let's take a look at that. Which, if you remember, we actually entered this a little bit on the positive delta side, but still no adjustments. Positive 34 delta, everything's in range at this point. We're at about break even. and the position looks like this. So that is looking very good. And last but not least is our August V-Condor, which is not doing as great as some of the other things. We're down about $1,600. Had to buy back one of these puts on, let me look at the T-log. One of these puts on the 2nd, on Thursday. And we hit over 50 delta on Thursday, bought back one of these. That's going to take a theta hit, right? The thing about buying back these calls is you can buy back a whole bunch of these calls and really not affect your theta a whole lot. If you buy back one short put, you start running a little bit negative theta here. But as of right now, this is looking okay. I don't like it when I have to buy back shorts back here, but it does happen. So we'll have to wait and see on this. But this is this position here. Still plenty of time, So, so no issues at this point. But that, I believe, is all the trades we have on. Like I said, I'm not going to see you next week. We don't have, it doesn't look like we have an entry next week anyway. So, but we'll update you on a week from Tuesday, a week from next Tuesday. I'm sorry, if I get a chance, I'll update you earlier on some, if I get a chance to put a video out, or maybe even some text. But that's what we have going on. I hope everybody has an awesome week trading, and have a great week.